Hey guys, I'm Ross and this is Hudson. You guys might know us from Mental Week, which is now 3 weeks away.
So 2 days ago we had the privilege of catching up with a seriously accomplished young woman. Her name's Mia, a talented Australian sprinter who competes in the 100, 200 and 400.
She's a Commonwealth Games bronze medalist in the relay, and she's been to the Olympic Games and World Championships, so she's represented Australia on the biggest stages in the world.
Yeah, hoping to see her again at the next Olympics and Com Games.
Yeah, definitely. She's had quite a crazy history in athletics, a very, very inspiring story and a very inspiring character, and I think we can learn a lot from her mindset, and it aligns really, really well with what we're trying to do with Mental.
100%.
So I think it was a really instructive chat for the two of us, and I think that you guys can take a lot from some of the things that she says.
I know I certainly did.
Yeah.
So we were hoping to film at Rossi's old stomping grounds at Lakeside Stadium in Albert Park, but unfortunately it was closed when we arrived, so forgive us, but we chose a dirty park bench. Still very informative content though, so stay tuned.
Thank you, Mia, for being so patient with us. We're a little bit disorganised, but hopefully the filthy park bench was good enough.
I started athletics when I was in under 8s, so I was 7 years old down in Geelong, and then just kind of realised I was good at it. I wasn't like that good as a junior, but then as soon as I got through puberty and started to grow, and I was all of a sudden way taller than everybody else, I was like, oh, yeah, I can do this as an actual thing. I made my first team when I was 15 years old, and that was in Bahamas, so I was like, okay, I think I can travel the world here. I was really enjoying being away from home, being away from school. I'm like not really a book kind of lady, I'm a hands-on kind of lady, so like just going around the whole world was really like eye-opening, and was like, that's kind of what I want to do.
And were you always like a sprinter? There was never...
Yeah, well, I did everything. My cousin is a 2-time world champion in the triathlon, so her name's Jo King. She's in the Hall of Fame, and so we just thought that maybe I might be good at distance, or maybe I might be good at triathlons. So I did like triathlons, I did some footy, I did soccer all the way up until I was in year 12, and yeah, I did like every sport under the sun. And then athletics, we just kind of realized that I cannot run far at all. I get like huge stitches, and I would run like cross country with my hands like above my head. Yeah. And yeah, we just noticed that sprinting was way easier, way better. And I found that I had a lot of natural leg strength compared to most other people, so I didn't have to do any gym work at all or anything, and I just kind of had that raw young talent, I guess.
We should get you on the bike.
Yeah, well, with all the triathlons, so I would come out of the water last. I cannot swim. I can swim, but I can swim for like 50 meters, and that's about it. And then I would just start drowning, and I'd come out of the swim last, and then I would catch everyone on the bike. Then I would get a stitch in the run because I've swallowed so much water. And then then
it's
we were
like
like,
complete opposite to Hudson.
Yeah, usually I'll be out like not in the front, but close to in the swim, and then the moment I get on the bike, it just...
No, really?
Yeah.
No.
Little chicken legs.
The chicken legs. The bike was definitely my best asset, because the run, again, could not run that far at all.
Yeah. What's the longest run you've actually done, would you say?
Pre-season, I like to challenge myself with the run, and I try and run around this lake, and I never make it. So I attempt 5Ks, and I never get there. So I feel like the longest would be like...
You can do 50 100s.
Your muscle just kicks in and you start sprinting at the start.
I can't even do 50 100s, even though, like, I can't, because
100s.
I just start... Yeah, my foot hurts because sprinting and running are two completely different things.
Yeah.
And the mechanics are just so different that I just go for a jog, but I'm like in sprinting technique, and then all of a sudden my foot is sore, my calves are sore, everything hurts within like 3 or 4 minutes. I can't even last a song. I can't even get to a song, to be fair. Like, I try and put something on and be like, yeah, like, let's go for this song. And then by the end of it, I'm like, must at least get to a song. But yeah, no, I can't do it. When I tell people that I run, everyone's like, oh, what's your 1K? Like, what's your 10K? I'm like, bro, the furthest I run is like 300 meters, and that's max. And I run a 400 every now and then.
Like, they used to actually drive me up the wall when people who don't really understand the sprinting game, I'd be like, oh, I did a like the hardest session I've ever done on the weekend. And I did 300s, and they're like, what? 300s? That's so easy. I thought, oh,
This is doing better than me. I came back from training one time and I was like, Mum, I had the worst session ever. She's like, what was it? What was it? And my mum's like one of those like real like hard people, just loves exercise, will exercise all the time, lives and breathes it, loves it. And I was like, oh yeah, 3 150s. I was so cooked. Like I couldn't feel my legs. My mum was like, okay.
Yeah, that's still under 500 meters.
Yeah. Not ideal, not good, but I just die. I feel like when you're sprinting, because you're putting 100% into like everything that you're doing, and you're using all of the little muscles that you don't use when you're running, and everything just hurts straight away. So, yeah.
I think this was one of our, like somewhat close to one of our next questions, but when you say with sprinting, it's just 100% into the race, in terms of, you know, being a high performance athlete, you said you've been in the game, well, competing for Australia for 10 years now. Obviously you can't be 100% for 10 years. How would you say staying disciplined, being on top of your game, how would you say you best go about that?
I think I look at most things as a glass half full kind of energy. I don't really get too down on something for a very long time. I think that's one of my best features, I guess, as being an elite athlete is, because I grew up basically as soon as I started puberty to about 3 years ago, I was injured every single year, and these weren't just like little tiny injuries like, oh yeah, I had a like little tiny like sore foot, I was out for like 3 weeks. It was stress fractures after stress fractures, torn hammies after torn hammies, and then I'd be in the hospital randomly, like I've had an abscess on my kidney, and then I grew like septic to all the medication. I had like pancreatitis, and then my appendix burst on my fallopian tubes, and my fallopian tubes leaked into like all of my intestines, so I had to have surgery to remove all of that stuff. Honestly, my mum said like a couple times growing up, she was like, are you sure you want to get back from this, love? Like, it's okay, I still love you. Athletics doesn't need you, or you don't need athletics. It's probably time you gave it up. But I was like, no, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep doing it. But I think it was determination. I think it was just something that I really, really loved. And I'm very glad that my parents never put pressure on me as a child. They were always like, someone has to come last, man. If that's you, but you tried your best, we still love you. I think that's why I'm still in the sport, because I grew up not competing for the #1 spot. I grew up because I loved it, and I wanted to keep doing it because I loved it. And I think that since all these injuries, it's just more of an appreciation when I do step out onto the track, that I'm very honoured to be there. I'm grateful to be there, and every single experience that comes my way is something that I will always cherish, basically.
Yeah, lovely.
It's very wholesome.
That's a great, very wholesome.
No. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people, especially in track and field, it's such an individual sport. Everything is measured to your time. If you have a bad race, everyone knows about it everywhere. I think that there's something really special about being able to take away the performances. Yes, you can be a bit upset about it, but I think there's something special that you can take it away and not actually dwell on it or bring you down for weeks. We just had a ACT champs on the weekend, which is usually a lot of people's first races, so it's kind of the first eye-opener to see how your season's going to start. Is it going to be a good season? Is it going to be a bad season? And there was a lot of people that didn't race well at all, myself being one of them, but there was a lot of people that just like went missing, and you go, where'd they go? They've just gone for like 4 hours, we can't find them. And they're just like all in their head, which I think is the worst thing that you could possibly do if you are upset like that. Me personally, I didn't race too well at all, but I was laughing about it. So yeah.
I think that's a very good segue into one of the questions that I had, and I know this is something that I reckon a lot of people struggle with, and not just in like elite sport, but just in general, tying their self-worth to something that's very external to them. For example, I reckon a lot of athletes might base so much of their self-worth on how they've been performing. A lot of people might base their self-worth on how they're performing at work or whatever it is. Have you found that it's been super important for you to have a really strong identity outside of athletics And what advice might you give to someone who maybe struggles with that kind of stuff? You know, letting something that is obviously really important in their life, but it's just like it really just takes over them to the point where their self-confidence gets a big hit and it starts to really impact them mentally. You talk about this ability of yours to just, you know, just be like, you know, what's done is done. It didn't go well, but whatever, we move on. So what advice do you have for people like that, would you say?
Well, I think that 2022 I fractured my back, and
Jeez,
I was,
you have not had a good one.
I know, but this was like the debilitating one. Like, you know, there's some fractured back so you can like still kind of do things. I couldn't even go for a walk around the lake. Like, I was like stuck there, no bike, no swimming, no cross training or anything. I was just sitting there wondering why I was getting so fat. But but the main thing in that was my coach was like, because that was like the first time that I'd seen some sort of, not depression, but like I was just really, really sad. I was very isolated. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't do anything. Basically, I just sat in my house eating KFC. Yes. My coach was like, Mia, you're a lot more than just an athlete. He was like, you're really funny. Well, I think you're funny. Sometimes he tells me I'm not funny, but sometimes he says I'm funny. But he was like, you're a funny girl. You're a smart girl. You got all these things going. You've got lots of friends. You've got a really good family. You've got such good structures. You know, you want to learn. These are all good factors of a really good person. He's like, you're not just an athlete. Yes, you can run fast when you're good, but you're also just a great person to be around. I was like, oh, yeah, true. I can be a good person to be around. And so things switched and I went to the track and I started going to the track more often. And even though I couldn't actually run or do anything like that, I was learning from the people that were running, like my training squad members. So I was, what does running sound like? What does running fast sound like? What does a good run sound like? What does a bad run sound like? So that when I came back, I was like, this is what sounds like a good run. This is what doesn't. So I wasn't in my head of trying to get to some place where I wasn't putting pressure on myself, but then I also wasn't all consumed in performance or anything like that. So I think the main thing was making sure that I have those structures. I was away from my friends, but then I had to make more of an effort to get them back. Like I made more of an effort of texting them, telling them how I'm feeling, what I'm doing. I was put more of an effort to go down. I'm from Geelong, so I put more of an effort to go down to Geelong, or my family came up to see me a little bit more. Just all these different structures that I wasn't doing.
Kind of leaning on your different support network.
Yeah, definitely. I just like lent on literally every single person. I was just like, bruh, I'm struggling, please help me. I can't move my back. And then everyone just kind of like flocked to me. So I think the worst thing that I did was just isolate, but I was so sad that I didn't want to actually like, I feel like if I was to talk to somebody about it, then it would all feel a little bit more real, and then it would all be a bit more depressing. Because in my mind, like, I was like, well, that's kind of like my Olympics gone in a way. Like, I was like, oh, like, who comes back from a back fracture like this bad? When I had my surgery on my appendix that burst in my fallopian tubes, I had 6 weeks bed rest, couldn't move, nothing. On the 10th week, I ran at the Commonwealth Games. So, I mean, I would do it again. I'm insane. I'm a crazy athlete. One of those crazy ladies. But yeah, I would do it again. But because I went to the Com Games and ran, it was so much pressure on my back because I didn't have any core muscles. So I was using all of my core muscles were my back. So my back was like taking all of the load. You know when you like got a big belly, that your back starts to arch and arch.
Oh, I know about that.
Yeah, and then it was just so much pressure that it just like.
Oh my God! Yeah, during the race, or
I had a sore back leading into it, but I thought it was all to do with my fallopian tubes and all that kind of stuff. They said I was going to have lots of pain, almost like period symptoms for a very long time, up to a year. And obviously, one of the symptoms of a period of pain is back pain. So I thought, oh, this will be really normal. Like this will be fine. Not fine. Get your back checked straight away, especially because it was just one thing after another that you were just like, oh God. And then my first race back, I tore my hammy, so it was just like, oh my God. That was literally all it was. It was just Olympics. And I remember after when I tore my hammy the first time, coming back after the back, I was a mess. I try not to like cry with everybody around, and like when they take you to post-event, you have to like go underneath the things, and obviously because I just know I tore my hamstring, so like medical was there, and then when you just like have one person and you just see that person and they go, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "I'm not okay." And for me, that was one of my training mates at the time who was in the same race as me, and I just like broke down. I was like, "I can't do this anymore. This is too hard. What am I even doing? I'm pushing my body to try and come back for what? For me to tear my hammy? I'm so done." It's just like years and years and years. And then she was like, "No, Mia, like this can't be how you end. You can't be ending like this. You can't be doing that." So then
it sounds like a movie or something.
I know. Don't be cliche or anything, but I think it's really built me to be like a really strong, like any sort of niggle now. Like I'm not phased about anything. Like most people just go, "Oh my God, this is sore," and then like stop about it. But I'm like, no, this is nothing to me. I feel like I'm a brick wall these days. Like I'm just
like that bloody David Goggins mentality.
Yeah, like I just kind of run through a lot of things. So like that's why I'm exploring like new avenues. I'm trying to like maybe try and go into the 400s to do something different. I just want to challenge myself and see what I can do.
After like doing ultramarathon.
Oh no, I will. That's something that you will not see me do. I will not do an ultramarathon. I will not do a triathlon or anything like that, unless someone like pushed me along. I won't be doing it myself.
I mean, this is another cliche, but like it's so true that it sounds like your career has been obviously filled with obstacles. That's almost endless list of injuries and complications. But I suppose you always hear people say that nothing good ever gets built through easy times. I feel like going through all those tough times, whilst they would have been really, really hard, do you feel like your career would have been different at all had you not had any of those injuries?
Oh, 100%. 100%. I've seen a lot of people that get injured later on in life, like above 20, I would say. They get injured, but they haven't had that past that I've had since I was young, that they either A, like quit because they're like, "Oh my God," B, like start blaming everybody else but themselves, like their coach or something like that. Or C, just like seriously, just like serious doubt, like insane, all-consuming doubt. And like they don't know how to be happy for other people when they do well.
We've talked about this, haven't we?
Yeah, like I feel like people that have never had anything bad kind of happen, and then later on in life they do have something bad that happened, but they're so used to being like a child prodigy or whatever, that when they are older and then something bad happens to them, and their friend or something starts to do really well, they can't be happy for them because they're so sad. It's really not that hard to be like, maybe you might not make a team, but your best friend does make a team. It's not that hard to be like, "Hey, good luck, smash it. Like, I want to be out there with you, but I'm cheering for you here or whatever like that.
Sweet old soul want to be friends.
Exactly. And like, I think because I'm so used to, like when I was younger, I would watch my race run with my name on the board with an empty race, and I'm up in the stands with ice on my hammy. Do you know what I mean? So I'm so used to like having to congratulate people where I wish that was me, so that it just kind of comes naturally to me now.
Yeah.
Because if I was to do that when I was younger, my mum would have had my head for sure. She'd have been like, "Get out there." Congratulate them. And so now it's just something that, I wish everyone the best anyway, but I feel like people that haven't done that, it's so hard for them to be happy for other people, which I struggle sometimes to understand where they come from. But I try and put myself in their shoes. I think it's something that a lot of people find a bit hard and challenging.
Yeah. I'm actually like nothing like what you've just described, but we're doing, I don't know if you've seen it all yet, but we're doing a little week-long fundraising challenge.
Oh yeah, no, I have seen that, yeah.
And I'm suffering with a little bit of shoulder pain, and it's kind of...
It's more than a little.
But yeah, bro, it's preventing me from doing a lot of the upper body stuff, which has been pretty frustrating. This has only been like, 6 months in the making. Your career's been practically your whole life.
Yeah.
And you've gone through all these different problems that you've faced. It's certainly providing me with a lot of comfort to know that,
Yeah.
like, you
well,
do
I feel
come
like
out on the other
nothing
end.
good
Yeah.
is worth having unless you go through a little bit of something to get there. It
exactly.
just makes it so much sweeter.
Yeah, for sure. And still super grateful that the rest of the body's working. So,
Yeah.
it's nothing
You can just
like
pick
a
up
broken
everything
back.
else. Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm waiting for my day to come because I've always said to people I've been so lucky with injuries. I've never had a bad injury before.
Yeah.
Don't touch wood right now.
Yeah.
Like,
And even though you say be happy for people,
yeah.
No, happy for you.
You sound like you're very close with your family.
Yes, very close to my family. I try and go down as much as I can because my sister is 10 years younger than me, so I don't want to like abandon her. No, I know it was really hard because when we, obviously COVID brought us everyone together, and then my sister moved to Perth at the same time I moved to Melbourne, so she kind of lost two sisters.
Yeah.
In like the same week. I couldn't imagine that when I was her age because she would have been like 10, so I couldn't imagine just losing your siblings straight away.
Like the house is empty.
Yeah, like it would have been, I mean, I do have a brother and he's been great too, but I couldn't imagine just losing two of my older siblings in 1 week. I try and go down to Geelong as much as I can, or I try and go to as many of her athletics meets as I can to support her in as many ways as I can like that. Obviously it's a lot hard when I'm traveling a lot and I'm doing so much, but no, she's a special little lady, so I like to try and go down as much as I can. And yeah, I'm pretty close with my parents. My partner always says like, oh my God, that's just not normal. Why does your mum call you 18 times in the day and you literally pick up every single time and you sit there and talk to her every single time? I'm like, well, I have lots of things to say. So, I tell my mum everything and, we have
my
a
back's
really nice
fractured again.
Yes. Well, my mum's a legend. She was a nurse growing up. Like when I was younger, she was a nurse. When I was just getting injured so much, and then obviously I was doing like heaps of travel, she stopped being a nurse and she went into like massage therapy and like all that kind of myotherapy. She did all that so she could be my personal person to go around with me so that I can stop being injured. And it's been really good. It's been really, really good. I'm very lucky. Not all the mums will change their career path for their child.
We try and align what we speak about with people towards mental health, and there's a lot of similarities between things that you can learn through sport and exercise and being in a team environment that sort of translates into mental health. But it sounds like from what you said, you used your network to get through those tough times, your coach, your training partners, your family, and I think a lot of people have a tough time doing that.
Yeah.
It's quite scary to think to themselves like, I need people to help me. I can't get through this by myself. And I think it's like important for people to know that like there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
I think it's actually a strength to be able to be like, I can't do this without my team, without my family. So I think it's really cool that you spoke about that.
Yeah. Well, I think it's really good in that way as well, because then everyone was really supportive as when I was coming back, that we were able to celebrate the little wins. Like it wasn't just like, all right, now I got to try and get to nationals. So nationals, like that's the main goal. And then like, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It was like, oh, I could jog today, and everyone would like clap me down. Do you know what I mean? Or like, oh, this is my first little jump, and it was like this little, like it was this big, and everyone would like gather around and be like, yes, Mia. Like we were all taking these huge milestones with me. That was together. It was like a together kind of thing. Like, I was doing little things that like, if I was sitting now, I'd be like, oh God. But like at the time, they were huge for me. That everyone was like, yes, let's go, Mia. Like, let's do this. And I feel like if you can take those little wins, or like people can, I don't know, open themselves up to not just themselves and look up to other people, then it helps your journey as well.
Certainly.
And being able to will be there and support somebody in that way. Like my friends, we still every Sunday we walk around the lake, or we walk around something and we do something and we just like talk. I just talk, and likewise, the half of the walk will be me talking, and the other half of the walk will be them talking, so we can just like vent everything out. And like as I said before, athletics can be very, very individual, and sometimes it's nice to talk to someone that has absolutely no idea what you're talking about. Do you know what I mean? Like they don't really know what nationals is. They don't really know the process to get to World Champs or the process to get to an Olympic Games, but they know that I'm talking about it, and like this is my frustration that I have right now, and they're like, oh my God, that's crazy. And I'm like, yes, I know. How crazy is this? Like, I have to do all of this to get to this team. Like, how silly is this? And they're like, oh, that's crazy and wild. As in, if I was to talk to somebody in my space about it, they'd be like, oh, it's not that bad. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes I just want someone to be like, yeah, validate my feelings. Validate that this is hard. Like, that sounds insane. But, you know, it's kind of nice to have the different groups to talk to different people about it, because, you know, it keeps you in check in all lots of different ways.
Yeah, for sure.
What would you say are like the biggest things that have helped you to be able to, actually just like keep going through all the setbacks that you've had? And like, do you sort of have any advice for maybe younger athletes out there who are finding it quite overwhelming or quite difficult and are sort of trying to find motivation to keep going and, you know, believe in the fact that one day they can succeed?
Yeah, well, I think that everyone should love what they do. Like, if you don't love it, then don't do it. Find something that you really, really love. But I think it's also, you need to be able to adapt and change, like learn. If you don't love it, then you're not willing to learn. And I feel like the learning part is such a huge factor in anything that you want to do. Like, you can't just get better by chilling and doing whatever you want to do. You have to be comfortable with a little bit of the uncomfortable. And so to find that is, you know, pushing yourself a little bit. If that is a coach that pushes you, like my coach pushes me every single time I get to training mentally, and he'll think of me outside of training as well. So like, what am I doing work-wise? How am I trying to better myself work-wise? How am I supposed to better myself in other areas of life? Like with my friends, he tries to make me listen to new music that I'm like, bro, I don't like this, but he's like, you need to like open your mind to different things. She tries to make me watch movies that I do not like. I'm more of like a romantic, like love comedy, you know, kind of lady, and I liked my high school dramas, and he's like trying to bench me. And he tries to put me out into like other things like documentaries and stuff like that. So like things that I don't want to sit there doing, like he pushes me to go and do that kind of stuff as well. And my mum, she's given us all juggling balls, and so now all of us kids have to learn how to juggle this year. So she gives us every year. Last year was the Rubik's Cube. I didn't nail it. I still can't get it, but she gives us different challenges every single year, so we challenge our minds in something in a new way. And I think that that's something that we should all be trying to do, because if we're just happy with how we are, which is totally fine, if you're happy with where you are, that's totally fine too, but you're never growing, you're never adapting, you're never opening your mind to awesome possibilities that you could be doing. You just kind of get locked in a no kind of brain, and if you lock yourself into a no kind of brain, then you limit yourself to opportunities that could be like the best experiences of your entire life. If you just keep doing that, or you just keep chilling with what you're doing, like if you never open yourself up to go to new events, then you could be dating someone new, or you know what I mean, you can meet the love of your life, or you can meet your bestest friend in the whole entire world, or you can meet someone that's going to really help you learn with your studies or something really cool. So I feel like being able to put yourself in uncomfortable situations is a really important factor of growth.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's very much similar for the average Joe as well. If you're just going to sit at home and wonder like where your partner is, it's not going to be at your house. You're going to have to go out there and try and find them. Or if you do have no friends, well, why do you not have friends? Do you not like doing anything, and you just like
seeking friends?
Are you actively trying to get friends? Like, it's
be my friend.
Please, please. I have nobody. Please.
I feel like it's like kind of basic human nature sometimes to unfortunately look for reasons why something is not a good idea.
Oh, it's the easiest thing to do in the world. It's the easiest thing in the world. And I grew up, like, most of my life was very quiet. I didn't really speak a lot. And when I moved schools in year 10, I very much opened up, and everyone was like, oh my God, who are you? Like, this is the first time and now you kind of shut me up, because I used to be so like quiet, didn't really want to speak a lot. And a lot of my friends in my old school, like, I feel like I had to relearn, like re-meet you almost, because you were just so different. And when I moved the schools, I did make that active, conscious decision to be like, I don't want to be a shell of myself anymore. I want to like give people the best opportunity, and myself the best opportunity to make really good friends, and like that people know who I am. And I think that was the greatest thing that I ever did, was just shapeshift Well, not shapeshift, not be scared about what people might think of me. It's what
blossom
was,
a bit.
Blossom a little bit. And moving schools was like the best thing for me, I would say, ever that I've ever done. Yeah.
I think it's great because I feel like the more true you become to yourself, the more you actually start becoming friends with people that you were meant to be friends with.
Yes.
If you're going to pretend to be someone you're not going to be friends for life.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure about the whole reinvent yourself sort of term. Like, I think it's more so just, you know, you're constantly changing. Me a minute ago from me now is a different person. You love it, mate.
Yeah.
And like, you know, even if I think about myself back in like high school days, I'm definitely a different person.
Different.
So I think realistically, like, we're always changing, and as you just said, like, you find your crowd based off where you're at the time. You know, if they end up being your lifelong friends, then that's great. But I think realistically, it's always good to find a crowd that wants the best for you.
100%.
Wants you to be the best self. Yeah, your best self.
Yeah. And look, what's that word? This is not applying to like actual like dudes and finding your life partner, but like friends. But you know they say that you got to kiss a few frogs before you find your friends. But like I also mean like that in like a friend's sense. Trying to find some really good quality friends. Sometimes you have to go through the bad ones to find some really, really good ones.
A lot of my mates aren't the best kissers.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's certainly a applicable saying for mates as well. For sure. But it certainly sounds like not only your family, but your friends outside of running and in running are very supportive and have helped you through those tough times. I think you can only carry yourself through so much, and you certainly sound incredibly headstrong.
Thank you.
But yeah, always good to have a really helpful support network, and you know, can carry you through those tough times.
Definitely. I feel like everybody should just, because we don't get media trained at like athletics. Growing up, you don't get media trained, which you would think would be such an important factor. And so many people cannot speak in front of a camera. But I think nowadays they're starting to media train people because they realize, oh my God, we've got a serious problem now because all these 24-year-olds finish a race and then we put like a microphone and camera in front of their face and they go, yes, my race was good. My race was really good, felt good, thanks, goodbye. Like, it's like, whoa.
A lot of people might think like, oh, how hard is it to talk to a camera? The first time we tried, we were so bad. I was like, this is so weird. Like, I don't know what to say. But I feel like, we've become a lot better at it.
I think if you just kind of forget that it's there really and just have
is
like
the best thing for it.
Yeah, definitely.
100%. That's like when I start to film the vlogs in front of people as well, everyone's like starts laughing at me and when I'm 80 years old and I can watch back on this, like you're gonna be laughing.
Actually at like the Arsfield, like have you got one of those handheld
Yes.
Knows that by now. In the vlog.
Well, I feel like
I'm sure they're keen to get in now.
A lot of them. I have so many people. Like a lot. It's so funny though, because like sometimes I'll finish my race and they go, "Can I be on the vlog?" I'm like, I'm on the track with my race uniform. I don't run with my camera.
You have like fans that come up to you.
Yes. I love it. Like I have all the time in the world to just like if someone comes up to me and they're like, "Oh my God, like I love watching you run." I'm like, I will sit there and talk to you for ages because I just like love it so much. Last year I was at the Maury plant meets and it was like sold out everywhere, and it was actually my mom's 50th birthday as well, and I didn't leave for like hours and hours. I was just sitting there talking to people and everyone was like, "Oh my God, like it's your mom's birthday, like get out of here, like go do things." And my mom was like, "Oh no, I'm so proud of her."
That's sweet.
Like she's loving herself out there, so I'm happy.
Very sweet. It's a good birthday gift.
Who do you think's the coolest person you've met through the sport?
Coolest person I've met through the sport? I don't know.
Well, technically, you've met me through this sport.
Obviously. Like, come on.
Do you meet some of the international stars at the Olympics?
Yeah, we do. But like, I try not to be like in there. I try not to be fangirling because you're supposed to be racing them. I did ask Shelly-Ann for a photo though because I was like, because I saw her at World Champs. Well, originally, first time I saw Shelly-Ann, I was at the Com Games, and I didn't believe it was her because she was so small, and I was was like, there's no way there's someone that runs that fast, that's that small. Like, I just couldn't comprehend it. Yeah, she's the goat.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, that's not her. Because she was turned the other way around, and I was like, no, that's not her.
Yeah.
And so I refused to believe it. And then that same Com Games, I also saw Elaine Thompson.
Yeah.
And I couldn't speak. I got so like stood there, could not move. I was with Josh as a party at the time, and he was like, bro, like, why aren't you moving? I was like, why are you moving? Like, you're in the presence of greatness. Like, what do you mean you can just like chill around and yada yada yada? I was like, this is amazing. And then I got a photo with them both. I mean, it took me like 8 goes to ask Elaine Thompson for a photo. And then the recent world champs with Shelly Ann, I was with my coach, and John was like, no, you can have the photo afterwards. I was like, no, there will never be another time. I'll never get this moment ever again. And then we like stopped everything what we did, and I said, you're coming with me. And then I made him take the photo, because I was like, because he hates photos, like hates photos so much, hates media, hates everything. So I was like, no, I need to do this. And I'm so glad I did, because by the time I'd finished, she was gone. And so now I've got a photo with 2 goats, and I'm like,
Would you say they're your idols?
no, I raced against Melissa Jefferson though, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. She was on my inside. She ate me up in 2 steps. It was amazing.
She's the one she's the double world champ.
Yeah, she's the double world champ.
100 and 200.
Yeah.
By miles.
By miles. Like,
she's nuts.
She's amazing. She was,
yeah.
and just like, I really enjoyed her persona in the call room as well. Like, I feel like a lot of, well, especially as someone at her status, at her level of expertise, at her, you know, abilities, I really would have thought she would have kind of been like a little bit standoffish, like, because there definitely are standoffish people, but she was like so amazing. Like, she was like down to earth. She was really kind. She was asking questions. I was like, whoa, this is amazing. And the whole time I was just
best
like,
friends, you know?
yeah, literally tell everyone we're besties. But she probably definitely doesn't know who I am, but that's all right. But it's like, even just like, because I had to sit next to her the whole time, just like, she's also really short as well. I was just comparing our leg length. And my legs are here, her like quads finished here, and I was like, oh my god. Just like when she pulled out her shoes and they were like tiny compared to mine, I was like, oh my god, I'm Bigfoot.
Isn't being short like actually really advantageous, like, for explosiveness in sprinting?
Because you're able to have a quicker turnover.
Yeah,
you're able to have a quicker turnover. And like in the hundreds, most women are short, and then they go out and out and out and up until the 4s. And then I'm not really sure about the 8s, because I haven't really been in the 8 call room, but like the hundreds are very, very short, like kind of like 5'2" to 5'4" ish.
Yeah.
And then
Oh, so you'd be quite tall.
I'm giant. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm 5'11".
Yeah, okay.
And so the 2s are more like 5'9" to 5'11", and then the 4s are more like 5'11" to like 6'3", 6'2". So like, it's quite crazy. I'm then become short in the 4, but I'm tall for a 2.
The physio that I was talking about before said apparently there's just no one in the middle. You've got either nuggets was the term he used, nuggets, and then just fairly tall people, like, you know, your Volts and stuff like that. Maybe I don't know if that's the same for women's sprinters.
I feel like women's is different. Sydney's not that tall at all, but I feel like the dudes is just a huge huge difference. Like no one person, I mean, in everyone, no one person is the same, but I feel like in the sprints it's just like you get like lots of tall people, muscular people, short and skinny. Like it's really lots different in how we go. Like even if you look at the men's 400 at the moment, just us in Australia, our 2 fastest guys at the moment. So you got Reese Holder, who is like...
He's a big boy.
He's a big boy. He's what, like, I don't know his actual height, but I'm going to assume like maybe 6'3" or 6'4", and he's also just very muscular. As in, he's then racing Cooper Sherman, who's like 5'9", 5 something, and he weighs like... I want to say like 60 kilos, maybe even less. Like, you know what I mean? There's just 2 completely different. And then, you know, Cooper's just ran 45.08 or something like that. And what's Reese? He's like 44.3 or something like that.
When you get to the Olympic level, actually, do you see less variation or even more?
Even more. Everyone, like, I think it's really amazing to see different people and different people's bodies and how people we're all in the same place. It really is like there's no one size fits all. Like, you know, you could have really, really, really skinny legs and like a bigger body, and then you could be beating somebody that's, you know, or like you you see it a lot here. Like a lot of people, I don't have ripped up abs, but I beat a lot of people that do have ripped up abs. You wouldn't really think that if we were like to put our tops off and like stand on the start line, you're not going to be like, oh yeah, that one. You just never know somebody's ability, and I think that's like the really cool thing about going to the Olympics and world champs and stuff. It's just like everybody is just so different, and it makes it more eye-opening because you're like, oh,
certainly,
like genuinely anybody can be really good if they really put their mind to it.
I imagine for the average person, or even like the younger athletes in any sport really, but particularly since we're talking about sprinting, seeing different body shapes and sizes and everything, I imagine it would be quite exciting to see if obviously there are genetic factors, but at the same time though, if you put your mind to it, you do everything that's required, why not? Why can't it be you?
It really is, and that's what's really cool.
Like having these memories now, it's like I think it's such a good thing to tell people, like, don't ever judge a book by its cover.
No.
My acceleration in the 100 was shocking. And I would eye up my opponents.
Eat people up at the end.
Full fours and ones. And I'd like line up next to someone in the 100 and I was like, okay, you don't look like you're going to be very fast. And like it's 20 metres and they're like 4 metres ahead of me. I'm like, what the hell?
What is going on? What is going on? And I think that's what I did when I was younger as well. Like I would get on the start, obviously like most chicks are in briefs and the crop tops, so I'd be like, oh my God, this person's abs are like fucking cooked. I don't know if I'll bleep that up, but this person's abs are like ripped up, like that's insane. And I would be like, I'm gonna get smashed, and then it would just not be the case at all. It's literally just like you judge naturally what you think is elite, but there is no actual like this is the elite body, and like everybody should be having this body because that's what's going to make you do really well.
Like the social media and like you know, the old magazines and stuff, it really does give you this concept of like this is what a fit person looks like. This is what, which is a whole nother topic in itself. Yeah, it's funny, like talking to an actual Olympian, hearing that is, you know, probably. What? It's nice for me in particular. But yeah, I think it's probably, you know, quite eye-opening for a lot of people that, you know,
100%.
maybe don't have that genetic factor where it's like, oh, you know, I can easily get super ripped or super jacked or whatever. No, there's no one body type that describes fit or healthy or whatever, you know? I did a 70.3, like the half Ironman event in 2024. I thought I'd just say that's not relevant. But
presence of greatness,
thank you. Olympics, what's that? I remember getting to like the run and there were blokes passing me that like, you know, I was kind of looking like, what the fuck? You know, how is that happening? Like, how are you passing me? But yeah, I think it's just, so cool that, exactly what we've been saying for the past 5 minutes.
Exactly.
Just keep going in circles.
That
was good.